Jai Hind, Kalpesh here. As I've said, all of you, that I'm going to say a difference between ordinance and act. Last video was good, and I hope I will increase my efficiency of pronunciation and I will deliver it properly. Okay, so let's in every video we will say one quote of the day. Okay, so today's quote of the day is learn to take rest, but don't quit. What is the meaning of this? You should take rest. Many aspirants, many boys and girls are doing what they are preparing. They're not seeing their health. Okay, so you should look after your health also. Take rest for one day and start your study on another day. Okay, but take rest is important, you know guys. Rest is important, and take rest, but don't quit. Don't think that I will quit it, I will finish, I will not study only. Don't do this, because all the study you have did in your past will go in vain. So just take rest and start continuing on next day. Okay, so let's start the difference between act, bill, ordinance, rules and regulations. See, India is governed by central government, we all know that. Okay, and central government having three bodies. Okay, in our body there are organs which controls our body system. Okay, like that only India is having, the central government is having body. The three bodies are, the three organs are legislative, which we call that legislative makes the law, executive which execute the law, and judiciary which interpret. Okay, which make judgment of the law, which makes peace and order, and maintains the peace and order. Okay, this is a work of judiciary. So let's talk about legislative. Okay, legislative is Indian parliament. We call legislative is also called parliament, Indian parliament, which makes the law and which makes an act. Okay, in legislative there are three organs, three part: president, Lok Sabha, which is known as lower house, house of the people, and Rajya Sabha, which is known as upper house. And second body, which is known as executive, which implements the law, which makes the rules. Okay, so in executive there is president, vice president, prime minister. Okay, in legislative there is president, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. In executive there is president, vice president and prime minister, and his cabinet, prime minister cabinets, the council of ministers. You should know this polity things. Okay, this will help you in competitive examinations. So in judiciary, the third organ of central government is judiciary. Judiciary contains three: Supreme Court, High Court and subordinate court. You should know the difference between Supreme Court, High Court, subordinate court. Let me say you, in Supreme Court is the supreme power court, which is there in Delhi. It is one court in all over India. High Court is a state court. Okay, in states there are many courts, but the supreme authority of the court is in state having High Court. And the subordinate court is a district courts, which is small courts are there that are subordinate courts. Okay, so let me ask you, what you all are thinking, that what is the difference between it? Why he's saying this all things? He's not saying the difference between ordinance and act. Let me complete my part. Okay, there is one draft which we call it as a policy. Okay, policy undergoes in parliament, and in parliament it is converting in bill. Okay, after converting in bill, it is passed. That bill is passed by both houses. In both houses, what are the both houses? Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha lower house, Rajya Sabha upper house. Plus it takes an assent of president. President gives an assent, then it becomes act. Small procedure, draft पास होता है, देन पार्लियामेंट में जाता है, वो बिल बन जाता है, एंड बिल लोकसभा एंड राज्यसभा, दैट इज पास इन बोथ हाउसेस. लोकसभा और राज्यसभा में पास होता है, एंड देन प्रेसिडेंट उसको पास करता है ना, अलाउ करता है, एग्री करता है, एंड देन इट बिकम्स एन एक्ट. दिस इज अ स्मॉल प्रोसीजर ऑफ एक्ट. सो you should know the sessions of parliament. What are the sessions of, क्योंकि in sessions only we are making acts. Okay, so what are the, and parliament is working in all 12 months. So you should know, no, parliament is not working 12 months. It is having some amount of time. It is divided in three parts, three sessions in which the parliament is working. The three sessions are budget session, monsoon session, winter session. It is like 3 seasons. Okay, so budget session is from January to May, and monsoon session is from July to August, and winter session is from November to December. You can call winter session is the smallest session in parliament. Okay, so what are the ordinance? What is ordinance? When parliament is not in session, then we take help of ordinance process. And when the parliament is not in session, that period is known as recess period. We call it as a recess. We are taking recess in schools, like that only. When parliament is not in session, that period is known as recess. And on that period, in central level, the whatever in emergency, whatever law, whatever bill is to be passed as an ordinance is been taken, is been assent by, in central level it is been done by president, and in state level it is done by governor. President is doing that work by the article 123, and governor is doing that, passing that act, not act, that ordinance by article 213. Okay, so only during urgency, only during urgency, only during urgency. So ordinance validity, you should know what is the validity of ordinance. Ordinance validity is 6 months, 6 plus 6 week, 6 month plus 6 week. What is 6 month and 6 week? I'm explaining you what is 6 month. In between 6 month, one session is being conducted in parliament. Okay, in 6 month one session will be conducted. When the sessions will come in parliament, at that time only we have to show this ordinance to parliament, and we have to show this ordinance to parliament. Then parliament will pass that bill, and that bill will be go on Lok Sabha plus Rajya Sabha, plus president will, president तो पहले से sign कर चुके हैं, then it will go in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, then it will become act. But after passing that bill, after passing that ordinance, it takes 6 weeks. In 6 weeks they decide whether this ordinance has to become act or not. If that ordinance in 6 weeks they will say yes, pass it as an act, then it will become act. But if they will not pass, then that ordinance will get dismissed. Okay, these are the difference between ordinance and act. Very simple. You should watch this video again in 2x speed. You will get to know what are the things, what are the ordinance and act. Thank you. Jai Hind.